Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I am Dr. Leela, bringing you series of lectures on the subject digital signal processing. And in this series, first realization of IIR filters is being taken. And today's lecture is the sixth one. It is on ladder structure realization of IIR filters. So let us consider the transfer function of the system given by ratio of polynomials inside. The numerator polynomial of order capital N and denominator also is of order capital N, and both the numerator and denominator are of same order, and their polynomials are written in the reverse order. So usually we write it as a0 plus a1 z power minus 1, that is increasing powers of negative powers of z, but now we write it in the decreasing negative powers of z, both the numerator and the denominator polynomial. So we expand this h of z by using continued fraction expansion, and when we do that, it looks like this: h of z is equal to alpha naught plus 1 over beta 1 z power minus 1 plus 1 over alpha 1 plus 1 over beta 2 z power minus 1, and continuing like this. The last term is going to be a constant, and it is 1 divided by alpha n. How this continued fraction expansion is done, I'll explain it when we take up the example. And all the alpha and betas, alpha I and beta i's are calculated using Routh array, and we form the Routh array from the coefficients of the numerator and denominator polynomials. So the first row is formed from the coefficients of the numerator polynomial, that is an minus 1 etc. a1 and a0, and the second row is formed from the coefficients of the denominator, that is bn minus 1 etc. b1 and b0, and these two rows correspond to z power minus n. And next, third and fourth rows elements are calculated from third row onwards. The element values are calculated from the previous two rows elements. So third row elements are calculated using the first and second row elements as per the Routh array rule, and the power of the z goes on decreasing by 1 compared to the previous pairs of the rows. So for example, here third and fourth row are having z power which is 1 less than that of the first and second row. So first and second row are of z power minus n. So this becomes z power minus of n minus 1. So Cn minus 1 is calculated as Bn into An minus 1, so it's given here, minus An into Bn minus 1, the whole divided by Bn. And Cn minus 2 is calculated Bn into An minus 2 minus An into Bn minus 2 whole divided by Bn. So for all these parameters of third row, the denominators, all the elements are divided by Bn, and numerators are formed by taking the product and subtracting the other two products. So the third is continuing like this, we get all the parameters in the third row. Next, fourth row is calculated using second and third row elements. So dn minus 1 is Cn minus 1 into Bn minus 1 minus of Bn into Cn minus 2 whole divided by Cn minus 1. Cn minus 1. So it's given here Cn minus 1 into Bn minus 1 minus Bn into Cn minus 2 divided by Cn minus 1, and continue in a similar manner to that of the third row for the fourth row, making use of the remaining elements. So like this we continue, and the last two rows are corresponding to z power 0, that is 1 and 1. So let the elements of that corresponding to those rows be G naught and H naught. So once we calculate the first column elements of this route array, we calculate the alpha i's and beta i's as alpha naught, the first element in the continued fraction expansion, that is alpha naught is given by an divided by bn. Then beta 1 is given by bn divided by cn minus 1. bn divided by cn minus 1. And alpha 1 is given by cn minus 1 divided by dn minus 1. cn minus 1 divided by dn minus 1, and it continues until we get all the alpha i's and beta i's. So once we get alpha i's and beta i's, let us see how we can draw the block diagram of this. So consider the output transformed function y of z as it is equal to, we know that the transfer function multiplied by the input transform x of z. So h of z, we expand it as alpha naught, the first continued fraction expansion in the continued fraction expansion. So let me here alpha naught plus the denominator of this second one, 1 divided by that, we write it as beta 1 z power minus 1, and the remaining whole thing it is put as 1 over r1 of z. So h of z is now expanded in two steps. First step we get the alpha naught plus, in the second step we get beta 1 z power minus 1, and the remainder is expressed as 1 over z r1 of z. So our y of z is equal to this whole thing multiplied by x of z. So from this we solve for y of z as equal to alpha naught into x of z plus this whole thing we write it as h1 of z into x of z. So where h1 of z is 1 divided by beta 1 z power minus 1 plus 1 over r1 z, and r1 z itself is starting from this point alpha 1 plus 1 over all these quantities put together, we call it as r1 of z. So we have one equation which is ready for writing the block diagram, is the equation 1. And next let us take this h1 of z. h1 of z can be written as y1 of z by x of z, and we know that h1 of z is 1 over beta 1 z power minus 1 plus 1 by r1 of z. So cross multiply this and solve for y1 of z. So when I cross multiply this, y1 of z multiplied by beta 1 z power minus 1 plus 1 over r1 z, that is equal to x of z into 1. So now separate y1 of z from this, which will be equal to r1 of z whole multiplied by x of z minus beta 1 z power minus 1 into y1 of z. This is our second equation required for writing the block diagram. So from equation 1 and 2, I brought forward the equations 1 and 2. 1 gives the relation for y of z and 2 gives the relation for y1 of z. So let us take the equation 1 and write the block diagram. So equation 1, what it does, what it states, the output y of z is equal to sum of two signals. One is alpha naught into x of z and the second one is h1 of z into x of z. So we start with the input signal x of z multiplied by alpha naught. So we get the first term alpha naught into x of z, and then take the input, tap it and multiply it by the transfer function h1 of z. So x of z, tap it and multiply by the transfer function h1 of z to get h1 of z into x of z here, and add the two to get y of z. So that is the block diagram realization of the equation 1. Now to realize the block diagram for the equation 2, so we first find out what is the quantity within the bracket here. Write the block diagram for quantity within the bracket and then multiply by r1 of z to get the y1 of z. So quantity within bracket is the input x of z minus this term, which is beta 1 z power minus 1 into y1 of z. So let us first assume that we know y1 of z. So we take y1 of z and tap it and multiply by minus beta 1 and take it to the delay element z power minus 1, and output of this delay element is the second term in the bracket, that is minus beta 1 y1 of z into z power minus 1. To this I must add the input signal x of z. So sum of these two is the quantity within the bracket, that is x of z minus beta 1 z power minus 1 into y1 of z. So this whole thing we have realized as this part of the block diagram, and that signal we have to multiply by r1 of z to get y1 of z. So the quantity within the bracket is here, and that is multiplied by the transfer function r1 of z to get the y1 of z. So that is where we started. So we join this y1 of z to here. So now this gives the relation block diagram realization for equation 2. Now combine equation 1 and 2. Just take this h1 of z and add this in place of h1 of z. Then we get the block diagram given like this. So what is this? Again, r1 of z is a transfer function which has to be further broken or split or expanded, similar to the manner that we have done for the first part of it. So when we continue expanding this r1 of z until we get finally a constant, the whole block diagram looks like this. So we have alpha naught. Here alpha naught is typed twice, I'm sorry. So this alpha naught multiplied by x of z. Then from this end, y1 of z is taken and multiplied by minus beta 1. That minus is been left out here. So minus beta 1, minus beta 2, minus beta n. So from the output end, we tap the output intermediate outputs. So y1, y2 like this, yn, and multiply each of these by minus beta i's, and from the input side, whatever the signal that we get here, delay them and add to the input side signal. So here x of z and this added together to get x1 of z, and we continue like this, and the last and each of the input signals are multiplied by corresponding alpha i's. So first one is multiplied by alpha naught, x of z is multiplied by alpha naught, this x1 of z is multiplied by alpha 1, then x2 we get the input here as x2 of z multiplied by alpha 2, and continue like this. The last input signal is multiplied by alpha n, and that is the output for this block, and it continues like this. So this is the whole of the block diagram reduction for the block diagram written for the continued fraction expansion of the transfer function. So let us take an example and see how we can achieve this ladder structure. So here I have taken an example with the transfer function h of z is equal to 2 plus 8 z power minus 1 plus 6 z power minus 2 whole divided by 1 plus 8 z power minus 1 plus 12 z power minus 2. Now we have the numerator and denominators both of degree 2, but they are given in the increasing negative powers of z. So let me rewrite it so that we have the decreasing negative powers of z polynomials in that form. So numerator becomes 6 z power minus 2 plus 8 z power minus 1 plus 2, and denominator is 12 z power minus 2 plus 8 z power minus 1 plus 1. So now form the Routh array to calculate alpha I and beta I. So the highest power is minus 2. So the first two rows correspond to z power minus 2, and next two rows correspond to 1 less than this, that is z power minus 1, and the last two rows correspond to 1 less than this, that is 0. So z power 0 is 1 and 1. So first row elements are from the numerator of this reorganized transfer function, that is 6, 8 and 2, and the second row from the coefficients of the denominator polynomial 12, 8 and 1. So we get this as 12 into 8 minus 6 into 8 divided by 12. So this is the calculations, and simplify we get 4. And next this element is 12 into 2 minus 6 into 1 divided by 12, that works out to be 3 by 2. Then the next row elements are formed from these 4 elements. So that is 4 into 8 minus 12 into 3 by 2 whole divided by 4. So that works out to be 7 by 2. And this element is, since this is 0, we just brought forward this element, whatever is here, 1 is brought forward to this place. So next this is calculated making use of these 4 elements. 7 by 2 into 3 by 2 minus 4 into 1 whole divided by 7 by 2 works out to be 5 divided by 14. And since this is 0, this element comes to this place 1. So now we have all the first column elements in the row array. Making use of them, we get alpha naught as 6 divided by 12, that is 1 by 2. Beta 1 is 12 divided by 4, that is 3. And then alpha 1 is 4 divided by 7 by 2, that is 8 by 7. Then beta 2 is 7 by 2 divided by 5 by 14, that works out to be 49 by 5. And alpha 2 is 5 by 14, that is 5 by 14 divided by 1, that is 5 by 14. So now making use of this, let me explain the continued fraction expansion of this equation h of z. So we have the numerator and denominator given by this. So that means we have to divide 6z power minus 2 plus 8z power minus 1 plus 2 by the divisor 12z power minus 2 plus 8z power minus 1 plus 1. So this is the dividend and this is the divisor. So when I divide it once, I get alpha naught, which is 6 by 12, or it is equal to 1 by 2. And the remainder is 4z power minus 1 plus 3 by 2. So this can be written as now half plus, then remaining part is 4z power minus 1 plus 3 divided 3 by 2 whole divided by this divisor 12z power minus 2 plus 8z power minus 1 plus 1, which can now be written as half plus 1 over this quantity, reciprocal of this, that is 1 divided by, numerator is 12z power minus 2 plus 8z power minus 1 plus 1, and bring it this numerator to denominator of this. So this becomes as shown it here. Now we have to divide 12z power minus 2 plus 8z power minus 1 plus 1 by 4z power minus 1 plus 3 by 2. So when we do that, when we divide this quantity by 4z power minus 1 plus 3 by 2, the quotient is 3z power minus 1 and remainder is 7 by 2 z power minus 1 plus 1. Now we can write these two steps as first alpha naught plus 1 divided by beta 1, which is 3z power minus 1 plus the remaining fraction is 7 by 2 z power minus 1 plus 1 divided by this 4z power minus 1 plus 3 by 2. Sorry, this is 3 by 2. This is 3 by 2. 3 by 2. Okay, so this is alpha naught plus 3z power minus 1 plus, write it as a reciprocal, that is 1 divided by, so bring this to the denominator of this, 4z power minus 1 plus 3 by 2 divided by 7 by 2 z power minus 1 plus 1. Okay. So now perform the division of this. When we do that, we get alpha 1, which is to get 4, I have to multiply by reciprocal of this and multiply by 4. So that becomes 8 by 7. So when I subtract it, I get 5 by 14 here, and this is our alpha 1. So next I have to divide this divided by 5 by 14. So that is 7 by 2 z power minus 1 plus 1. Divide that by 5 by 14. I get 49 by 5 here, which is beta 2, and here is 1. So this next I have to divide this by 5 by 14, that is the last term. It is of the form 1 over alpha n. So our alpha 2 is 1 divided by 5 by 14, that is 5 by 14 is our alpha 2. So this is how we perform the continued fraction expansion. So now let us write that h of z in the continued fraction expansion. So we have alpha naught plus 1 over beta 1 plus 1 over alpha 1 plus 1 over beta 2 z power minus 1 plus 1 over alpha 2, that is 5 by 40. So now making use of this, the block diagram looks like this. X of z is multiplied by alpha naught, and then let us suppose that we have the y of 1 given here, it is known, let us say, that is taken, tapped and multiplied by minus beta 1, that is minus 3, and then delayed, added to this x of z to get the next input x1 of z. Then x1 of z is multiplied by alpha 1, which is 8 by 7, and that is added with previous output, let us say it is known, and that has to be multiplied by minus beta 2, that is minus 49 by 5, and delayed and added to the previous input x1 of z to get the output, and the last quantity is alpha 2, which is 5 by 40. That gives the second step input or output, and that is taken here, and this is how the block diagram is written for the ladder structure. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching this video, and if you like it, press the like button and share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get the updates of the uh, future episodes. And in the description box, the link and email IDs are given. Thank you for watching.